Are you thinking about doing a bikini competition? Want to know what prep looks like? Watch this.
Our next caller is Laura from Florida.
Hi, Laura. How can we help you?
Hi. I had a question about prepping for my first bikini competition and really knowing, like, is my bodybuilding coach a good one or a bad one, I guess.
Ooh, here we go.
My boyfriend is a personal trainer. He actually used to be my personal trainer. And then I got a bodybuilding coach when I decided that I wanted to start competing. And he has a lot of conflicting ideas on if her programming is the best for my body, if it will hurt my metabolism in the long run. And he's really concerned with, like, the food group she's cutting out. She doesn't want me having any dairy or any gluten. And the cardio is fairly high. I mean, I don't know what's high for bodybuilding. It's my first competition. I'm not a trainer. And so I listen to the podcast and I listen to my boyfriend, and that's really all I know. So from my question, my cardio has been updated since then, I believe. But I do sprints twice a week with 20 minutes steady state cardio afterwards. And then 3 times a week, I have 30 minutes of steady state cardio. And I'm training 6 days a week now with really high volume.
How far out are you?
I'll be 12 weeks on Wednesday.
And you're already doing that. Wow.
What are your...
Does the coach or your boyfriend listen to Mind Pump?
I don't believe so, no. I've tried to get my boyfriend to listen, but he's just not a podcast guy in general.
What are your calories at?
Right now, I can pull it up right now.
Cool.
Also, do you have intolerances to dairy and gluten, or was that just a suggestion?
It was a suggestion. I don't have any intolerances to any food, actually.
Okay.
When I started listening to you guys and actually eating and training well, any tolerances like I thought I had totally went away, which was great.
It's a bodybuilding coach myth.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, tell me your calories, and then I'd like to know what your boyfriend is opposed to that your coach is having you do.
Well, she said cutting out the food groups. The cutting out.
Yeah.
The gluten.
Is there more? Is he opposed to the training as well?
He thinks that my cardio should be less and really be ramped up closer to the competition.
Yeah, he sounds like he's smarter than the coach.
Hold on, Laura. I want to hear your calories first, and then I'll give you my.
Yeah, here. I'll just give you a heads up. Your calories better be over 2,500.
Are they over 2,500?
Because if they're not,
no, not at all.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something.
Way too high.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something that is every woman's worst nightmare. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Your boyfriend's right. So he's actually
boyfriend.
Right.
Oh
yeah. Your calories are
maybe he listens to Mind Pump. He just doesn't admit it.
Yeah. That's what he will now.
Yeah, right.
Hey, these guys
come home and get lectured.
These guys said that you were right. Let me listen to that show. No,
where are the calories though? I know we said they weren't over 25, but where are they? So
they're at 1,600 right now.
Yeah, you're
12 weeks out, 1,600 calories.
Cardio
already doing cardio every day. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So this is just the MO with a lot of these coaches. Is they take somebody who's built some muscle. You probably already built some muscle. You've probably done a good job on your own. And then they're like, oh, cool, 12 weeks out. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make you just move like crazy. I'm going to cut the hell out of your calories. That's literally
run a lot.
There's no science, no real strategy. It's just, I'm going to starve you and I'm going to beat you up. And then people are like, why is my hormones and metabolism so messed up? Why do I feel like crap? What's going on with my body? So you're like I said, your calories are too low for all that
you're
work.
heading. You're heading right around week 8. Your coach is going to be looking at you because you've stalled. And then the next thing is they're gonna cut your calories even more or increase cardio even more. That's what's heading. That's what's coming for you in the next 4 weeks. You are going to, which by week 8 or sooner,
they'll bring her down to 1,200, probably double her cardio.
They're gonna cut your calories more and increase. It's just a terrible direction.
Can I ask you why you want to do a bikini competition? Like, what is your motivation around that?
I've never really wanted to do bikini. I really want to compete in figure because my upper body just builds like crazy and I like how it looks. I enjoy lifting really heavy weights and having a strong back and shoulders. But I've always enjoyed bodybuilding and really respected like the mental discipline that goes into it. And I come from a very traditional family where, women are always small and petite, and it's always like women are small and men are big. And that always frustrated me, like growing up, always having comments about my weight thrown around, and I was like, I just want to be strong and healthy. So that's what I'm going to do. And I love bodybuilding, and I want to get on stage. I want to experience that discipline because I am very disciplined and I'm extremely competitive.
Well, good, but bad. So your attitude is what's going to make this very damaging for you. So be very careful. You are disciplined. You probably can tough your way out and just eat nothing and just work out all the time because you're so disciplined. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that because it's not worth it. So
let's get you in the forum.
Yeah,
I have several clients that I've coached
you go.
For bikini shows that are actually in there. So, and you have other competitors that have coached themselves. So we're going to put you in our private forum so you can. I'm willing to bet with your experience and with your boyfriend combined, the two of you, I think you guys could probably put together a good run at a show.
Yeah, and it's a bikini.
Yeah,
not saying it's easy, but of all the competitive competition, all the competitions on stage, it's bikini's a lot easier than figure.
The fact is the main work that's going to make you win or lose the show is as far as the way you've sculpted your physique. That's done. Here, this is this week now is revealing the work that you've done the previous 6 months, year, 2 years, 3 years. So right now we're at the revealing phase. Now, where this bikini coach is so off is that you're gonna end up losing so much of that hard work that you did. You did all this great work to build a good base of muscle, and by cutting your calories that low and doing cardio, it's inevitable you're going to lose muscle. Your muscle is going to get paired. You're sending a signal to get your body adapted to 1,600 calories or less while also running on a treadmill.
12 weeks out.
Yeah, 12 weeks out. Like so, you're going to lose weight. You're going to lose some body fat, but along the way, you're going to lose a lot of that muscle you worked your ass off to build. And that is not what we want to do right now. We want to ease your way into this show. And where you're at right now, I wouldn't even want to be there till like the final weeks. Like in a good setting, the very bottom of our cut is around 1,600 calories, and we're doing that kind of cardio. And that's very, very possible when you set yourself up right in the off season, and then you do a proper cut going in there. And so get in the forum. We're going to give you free access to that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're all there, so you can tag us if you have questions. Introduce yourself. Let everybody know what you're going through, what you're doing, and you'll start to see several other bikini competitors pop up and start share, because they've got all very similar stories. A lot of people in there have been through something very similar as you.
Laura, do you know what body fat percentage you're at now?
I do not. I was going to do that test next week. I go to a gym locally that my boyfriend manages, and he was going to scan me next week to see where I was at.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering because, I mean, you bikini, you're probably trying to hit 12, 13% at the leanest, Adam?
Yeah, but that's very vague because I tell
depends
you
on
this
how
all
they
the time.
look.
Yeah, it has everything to do with how you look. So I would never go off of just pure body fat percentage, although that would give us an idea of where you're at. And I do think that's a very smart strategy because even with all of my experience coaching bikini athletes and getting ready for a show, I always do that at the beginning, so I know, maybe I cut too much or maybe I'm not cutting enough, and having a body fat percentage to refer back to, that's really what I care more about than the end, like, oh, you should be down to 9% or 12%, because I've told you guys before, Katrina walks around all the time at 12, and that would be considered super low for most people. So, it really depends on how your body holds body fat. And it's a subjective sport. It's all how she looks.
Laura, I'm happy you called 12 weeks out.
Thanks.
And I'm glad we weren't talking to you 4 weeks out, because a lot of damage could have been done in that period of time. So
I guess just to getting your response, because I kind of knew what you guys were going to say, and I was pretty sure my boyfriend was right because he's been training for over 5 years at this point. So he definitely knows his stuff. But what should I do, I guess, at this point?
So you're
going forward. Should I go forward with the show? Do you think I should pull out and find another
get in the
coach?
Get in the forum and I want to see what you look like, or give me your handle so I can kind of look at what you look like, because honestly, this is a subjective sport, right? So I have to see where you're at. If I think you're already pretty lean, we might even have time to reverse for a couple weeks and then go back to a more sustainable
that's great.
Type of cut, because you might be. But if you still have a long ways to go body fat percentage, it may be a good idea to scratch this show, go back to like reversing out, getting your calories up. Like, how much do you weigh right now?
Right now I'm at between 126 and 128.
Okay. Yeah, we could literally get you up over 2,500, 2,600 calories, kind of maintaining.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a very real for your size. It's not unrealistic to be able to get up to that. So so for me, so when I coached all bikini athletes, this was a rule of mine. Like we did not schedule a show until I thought their metabolism was ready for a show. And so that was the deal. Like they would all call me the same way. They'd be like, Adam, me and my girlfriend, we want to do a show in November. Will you coach us? I said, that's not how I do it. You can hire me, but then what we're going to do is we're going to work as if we're in an off season right now. I want to see where your metabolism's at. I want to see how your body's responding to the weights. I want to see how you're training, what your symmetry looks like, all those things. I want to assess all that. And then I want to get you to a place where I feel like you are eating a good enough calories that when we decide to go in our 8 to 12 week cut, that when you end and it's showtime, you're still in a healthy place. You still are in a place where you're not losing your period. You're eating a good amount of calories, that you're not starving the body. We're not on the treadmill every single day for an hour, something like that. Even that amount of cardio, like even if I had to do that, it doesn't happen until the last couple weeks at most. I definitely am not doing that this far out. And if I as a coach, I thought I needed to do that 12 weeks out, then I don't think you're ready for the show, because I didn't do my job of building your metabolism up. So let's see where you're at. Get in the forum, either take pictures and throw them up there for me, or give me your handle so I can take a look at where you're at. And then from there, we should decide whether we scratch this show, focus on building some more, and then go back.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's very helpful.
Thank you, Laura. Thanks for calling in.
All right.
Thanks.
This is one of those really rare situations where the boyfriend was right. So I'm glad. I'm glad we could give him a win. No, all joking aside,
Maybe he was right a lot. Just didn't get acknowledged.
No,
here you go.
All joking aside, 9 out of 10 times when somebody calls in and they have a bodybuilding or like show coach, the advice is terrible. 9 so far. 9. I mean, I can't actually be honest. It might actually be 10 out of 10. I can't.
Well, yeah, it's 10. It's 10 out of 10. But there's a little bit of a bias there, right? They're calling in because they kind of
there's something off.
Yeah, they kind of are.
Well, in your
they
experience,
want you to confirm it.
When your experience, Adam, of all the coaches you knew when you were doing this, what was it? What would you say? Like 80% or just?
Oh yeah, at least that. I mean, I built a business that I didn't intend to build off of that. That was not, I did not go like, I want to be a bikini.
You just saw there was a need.
Yeah, I saw there was a need. I started talking to all these competitors that I saw at the shows, and I started hearing and my first experience, by the way, even before I got into shows, I dated a girl that competed. So well before I competed, my girlfriend competed, and I knew nothing about show prep or any of that stuff. And so I was like this boyfriend right here. And it's actually funny because it was about 5 to 7 years into my career. I'm dating this girl who decides that she wants to do bikini, and he's running her on like 1,300 calories. And I remember telling her like,
that doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I don't think you should. And she's like, no, he's telling me I have to do this in order. And here's the thing that you got to watch out for. And like she was extremely disciplined. She did it, and she placed. She did well. But boy, was she have a hard time maintaining that. I mean,
and it confirmed, and because she played, she's like, well, I guess it was right.
That's right. So that's what I meant by be careful, because I know there's people that are listening that may have done a show and been able to have a coach put them through this crazy ass diet and routine, and they made it. Like it doesn't mean everybody gets fucked up the first time they do this. Right, just because coaches do this stupid shit, our bodies are resilient as hell. Yeah, and if you're
when they do 3, 4, 5.
That's right. And if you're a pretty healthy person, you can get away with 12 weeks of fucking death, and actually come out the end and maybe even place and actually been okay. But then you start to think that that's what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And that's where the real danger comes in, is that because like I said, if you have a really, really healthy metabolism and you're a healthy person in general, and you do some of these extreme things for a short period of time, a lot of people will be okay. They'll come out of it, not be all. The damage we see that's common is because it's been show after show after show. And so that's the trap. So if you're listening right now, and you hear where this girl is at right now, and and I'm glad you brought that up, that she, you talked about her, she's got the discipline probably to stick it out, and she probably would stick it out and probably get to stage and see probably one of the best bodies she's ever built of herself or whatever. But the danger is now she thinks that's how you do that, and there's
a better way.
And by the way, every show gets harder. I don't care how good you do.
The body gets more, it adapts. It slows down the metabolism.
And so you just keep having to ramp that extreme up, and it attracts the people that have these radical disciplines to just, I can do this.
Yeah.
And they normally have some crazy thing underneath that's driving them. My parents used to tell me I can't or I shouldn't or whatever like that, or I was this or I was that.
the massive chip on the shoulder.
That's right.
Dude, I totally
and
identify with that.
it's like they've got that, and they're battling that every day, and they're badass. They've got the discipline to do it, but they have no idea what they're doing, and they're setting themselves up for long term.